We begin tonight with U.S. President Donald Trump, who is reportedly in full panic mode over the resurfacing of the Jeffrey Epstein scandal. According to journalist and author Michael Wolff, Trump has been frantically calling his aides inside the White House, demanding, in his words, something really big. While he didn't explain exactly what that means, Wolff says it was clear to insiders. Trump was desperate for a major distraction that could shift attention away from Epstein. Wolff told the Daily Beast podcast that over the past week, Trump repeatedly told staffers, "I need a big thing." What's the big thing? Everyone understood that this was code for finding a distraction, something to push the Epstein controversy out of the headlines. At first, Trump floated the idea of turning New York City mayoral candidate Zoran Mondani into a political villain, even reaching out to Andrew Cuomo to discuss the plan. But according to Wolff, that idea never gained traction. Trump then considered deploying federal law enforcement and even soldiers into Washington, D.C., before ultimately settling on a far more dramatic move, sacrificing U.S. support for Ukraine. In Wolff's account, Trump essentially viewed this as a trade-off. He would give the MAGA base what they wanted, an isolationist policy, pulling out of Ukraine, in exchange for them easing up on the Epstein pressure. Trump's thinking, Wolff explained, was simple. I'm not going to give you Epstein, but I'll pull out of Ukraine. Of course, Trump himself insists that Wolff is a liar, dismissing everything he reports as false. But critics point out that Trump has in fact recently suggested that Ukraine should surrender parts of its territory to Russia. And with a scheduled meeting between Trump and Vladimir Putin in Alaska tomorrow, concerns are growing about just how much Trump may be willing to concede. Observers warn that Putin has long been able to manipulate Trump in ways others could only dream of. And if history is any guide, Trump may once again give the Russian leader exactly what he wants: for the United States to step back, look the other way, and leave Ukraine on its own. Analysts say Trump would likely justify such a decision by framing it as pragmatic. He would argue that Putin will never back down, no matter what, and that continuing U.S. aid is a waste of money and resources. In Trump's words, it would sound something like this: Ukraine, you're on your own. We're not going to keep wasting time and weapons on a fight that will never end. Whether or not this prediction comes true, it underscores just how far Trump may be willing to go to distract his base from a scandal that refuses to fade. And in other news tonight, the Department of Justice has filed lawsuits against 3 of the nation's largest Medicare brokers and carriers. The companies are accused of deceiving customers, claiming to be impartial while steering seniors into costly plans that didn't meet their needs, all for extra profit. Consumer watchdogs say the Medicare marketplace is filled with scams, misleading agents, and bloated insurance companies that take advantage of seniors. That's why organizations like Chapter are stepping in, offering independent guidance to help seniors find the right coverage at the lowest cost. Chapter's advisors compare every Medicare plan nationwide, tailoring recommendations to each individual's needs. Their support is free, and according to the company, they've saved people thousands of dollars on healthcare. For seniors approaching retirement, experts say now is the time to double-check your plan and make sure you're not overpaying, or worse, stuck with a policy that doesn't cover what you need. And that's where we leave it tonight.